Nigel Thomas here at the Nations Cup in Karnak, day one.
Oh, hi Will.
Morning Nigel. How are you finding Karnak, number one?
Been here before. Epic place to come for sailing as well as a bit of play and have partners and sit around, and just a great place to be on vacation. So if you're not here, why not?
Yeah.
So, no, great.
Good. And obviously today's quite light. Whether we go out or not, it's debatable at the moment. We're hoping we'll go out sometime today.
Yeah.
You're a pretty good light wind exponent at the moment. You know, I know you've been very modest, but you've got some good results when it's light. So let's have a quick look at your boat and your setup for light wind.
Yeah, sure.
So,
okay.
So wind Mark II?
It is a Mark II. I sailed. I mean, I've only been in the solo fleet 5 years, so I started off with a boom, then a Mark I, and now I've got a Mark II. Is there any difference? Probably not. You know, so quite happy with Mark II anyway for the moment.
Selden D+?
I actually got a Zeta.
Oh, okay.
So
Right.
I've always sailed with a Zeta. I feel the D+ is a bit stiff for me, but I think with the Zeta you then got to learn how it works. It doesn't matter what rig you sail with, I think you've got to learn how that rig works, basically.
Yeah.
So you could argue it's too soft in a breeze, but at the same time, soft is okay, especially in lighter airs. Nothing wrong with that. Yep.
And obviously HD.
I've got an HD.
Yep.
So nothing special, as in it's 3 years old. I've also got a North P2. For whatever reason, I mean, they're quite different sails, for sure. So again, I think the key thing is learn how your sail works, learn how your rig works, basically. So at the moment, I'm very happy with my HD, Zeta setup.
Yeah,
I know what to get out of it, especially in lighter airs.
Yeah.
No issue there.
So do you happen to know your front and mast setting on the Zeta, or is it from Transom? Any idea what?
What is it?
5060 or something, or?
Rake.
Yeah.
I don't actually.
Okay.
I don't measure the rake.
That's right. We'll measure it sometime, and then.
So what I do know is foot is in kind of standard position, so whatever that is, 3065. And then all I do is just measure where the gate is. So shroud tension, having the mast forward versus the mast coming back. So I don't worry about the rake, but of course you do think about, well, where is the boom? So my boom probably is my rig generally is possibly only a tad more raked than most people.
Okay.
Yeah. So is the boom horizontal, or when you go outwind with the vang, what's the distance between the transom and the boom?
Yeah.
Some people it's quite big.
Yeah.
For me, it's probably a tad smaller.
Okay. So we're going upwind in this light conditions. It's reasonably flat. We traveller position.
I like to keep things quite simple. So generally, my traveller is going to be pinned in the middle.
Okay.
And I think the most important thing in lighter conditions is your leech tension. So I tend to want to keep the leech open.
Right.
And then as the breeze, puffs up, a bit more vang.
Okay.
Just close the leech a little bit.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
As the breeze drops, ease the vang.
Right.
So for me, whether it's right or wrong, but for me, the vang is the thing I'm constantly touching, like probably every other minute.
Okay. Yeah.
That's my constant measure. And then boom position off the transom is generally going to be certainly not inboard of the tank.
Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm.
The boom will always be still in this position.
Yeah.
But again, as the breeze builds a little bit, so when I say build, is that 5 to then builds to 7 knots.
Yeah.
Builds from 8 to 9 knots.
Yeah.
It's still only going to be in that position, but possibly a little bit further inboard.
Mm-hmm.
So generally, as the pressure builds, put a little bit more vang, and still have a little bit of curling on the leech, but not excessive.
And how about
I myself quite loose and free. Generally.
Yeah. What about your lens foot then? Is that do you tend to have that all the way pulled out?
I tend to lock the outhaul fixed.
Yeah.
And I've got the inhaul.
Okay.
And on here, oddly, I've actually got 2 positions, but this is my HD position.
Okay, right.
So if that is down here,
Yeah.
every time you pull the Outhaul on,
You're pulling the Cunningham.
you're just putting Cunningham
Right,
on all the
yeah,
time, which
yeah.
can be okay sometimes.
Yeah.
And this is actually my P2.
That's actually a really good point
position.
that you've got, because of
Because
the
they're
obviously the eye of the eyes in a different place as well, I guess, on the different sails.
They're slightly, and they
Yeah.
just act differently. So
Yeah.
I think you do need, and because I've got 2 sails, lucky enough to have that, then I'll just have 2 setups.
Yeah.
But no, always, I just fix the Outhaul and then ease off on the
Ease off the in-haul. Yeah.
And generally in lighter stuff, I mean, I'm a small guy relative in solo. So
Yeah. What weight are you?
I'm 77
Okay.
kilos.
Right.
So for me, it's about, I'm generally sailing with a fairly flat sail.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as soon as I get to 8 knots, well, I'm starting to hike a bit more.
Yeah.
And as soon as I'm on sort of 12, 13 knots, I'm fully hiked.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. How about your centerboard position? I mean, in these light stuff, is it just down with leading edge
So
straight or something?
So I never sail with the board vertical.
Okay.
So this face
Yeah.
generally will be at about this angle.
Okay.
So it's like, I don't know, 7/8, 3/4.
Right.
It's that kind of
Yeah.
measure.
Yeah,
Certainly
yeah.
for upwind sailing.
Yeah.
And again, I think it's just feeling it. You just feel it in the helm.
Yeah.
So there's no importance to get more board down, especially in lighter airs. To me, it doesn't help you.
Mhm.
Doesn't give you any height.
Mm-hmm.
I think the thing which gives you height is boat speed.
Yeah.
So often in slower boats, as long as you've got boat speed,
Yes.
you're moving.
You'll get the lift.
You'll get the lift, and you'll naturally get a degree of height.
All right.
I think what I tend to see is people can go amazingly. The differences in light air are much more accentuated.
Yes.
For sure, between sailors. So I think it's the guys who don't do so well are generally, they haven't got their, weird to say, but haven't got their boats powered up 4 or 5 knots. So if the boat's moving, to me life is good.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where you
Yeah.
go. If the boat's moving, you can always yacht around.
Right.
I'm a
Great.
big fan of,
Good tip.